What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Flex podcast from the Action Network and Fantasy Labs. Happy Thanksgiving. I am your host, Chris Raybon. It's NFL Week 13. I am joined by one of the most accurate rankers in the game, the odds maker, Sean Koerner. Sean, happy Thanksgiving. How you feeling about these projections heading into Week 13?
Happy Thanksgiving. And I wouldn't say not great. Just there's a lot going on. I feel like there's 6 or 7 quarterbacks. We don't even know if they're suiting up. So it's pure chaos. But this is always the best time to talk about it. I mean, these are my raw dog projections. They're yours. So I'm excited to see who I have top 5 of each position. I haven't even looked yet. So can't wait to dive in.
Oh, yeah. I wonder, can't wait to see where Jahmyr Gibbs lands this week. I mean,
he better be in my top 5. If he's not, I will force the issue.
I mean, you never know. Like something I think we were talking about that with like Baker last week, and I was like, she just throws his arm out on a. So you got to like Gibbs will have one of those down weeks every once in a while, but nah, he's just elite. All right, we're gonna do our top 5, throw out some props, and give guys, of course, we're high and low on as well. Quick reminder. All of our fantasy football content available right now over at fantasylabs.com. Fantasy Labs NFL includes in-season rankings, waiver wire, and DFS tips, tools, models, and more. And right now, our Black Friday sale is going on. You get 50% off a monthly subscription at Fantasy Labs, so it is the best time. Check it out if you haven't already. Just go to fantasylabs.com to sign up and get 50% off your first month. Before we get into the projections, always got to do this every week. Cardio Kings, the guys that run the most routes without a target. Who are our cardio kings? We do tight end and wide receiver. Running backs, we don't count them just because they're not really a cardio situation there. But who do we got at tight end, and then who do we got overall?
Yeah, so tight end was Elijah Higgins of the Cardinals, ran 20 routes with 0 targets, which makes sense. I mean, Brissett's dropping back, 60, 70 times a game. So a guy like Higgins is going to get a ton of routes. Kind of surprised he didn't get a single target. But this just helps open things up for Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, to have a guy out there like Higgins being a cardio king. And wide receiver shouldn't be too surprising, but Jahan Dotson was the cardio king of week 12. He ran 28 routes and didn't see a single target.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me at all. I mean, him and Drew Sample, I think, is always in that running too. So there's a few guys. We'll see if Sample can get back into the mix this week. All right, quarterback, top 5. Who we got?
Oh, wow. I have Jalen Hurts number 1. What the hell's going on there? Then I have Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Drake May, and Patrick Mahomes.
I have, looking at this for the first time, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Drake May, and Jalen Hurts. So it looks like Lane Johnson probably on the wrong side of questionable again, right? Like I think it was a multi-week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But if it is, I have like a whole set of downgrades I give to Jalen Hurts when he's not in the lineup, because like there's like a large sample size of Jalen Hurts just not being as efficient. I mean, we kind of saw it last week a little bit. I mean, it was overall a decent game, but just 21 points, a little below expectation for the Eagles. So still top 5 quarterback though. But I don't know if I'm gonna land number 1. I think I might probably.
I don't know.
Mahomes, I think I could see him jumping up there. We got to see about Jackson's health. And then May with the missing offensive line, I might have to knock him. Nah, I can't knock him down. Just add some sacks, but more dropbacks. All right. Who are we high on at quarterback?
Yeah, I'm still high on Jacoby Brissett. He's my QB 11 to open the week at Tampa Bay. Like I hinted at, he just continues to air it out. Michael Wilson, I always thought he was underrated, but he has turned into an absolute stud these past couple of weeks. And of course, he has Trey McBride also at his disposal. I think, Marvin Harrison might return this week, but right now this offense is cooking without him. And Tampa Bay is more of a pass funnel matchup. They've allowed the 4th most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. I heard you mention something about there could be weather here.
Yeah, it could be.
It is. Yeah, I mean,
13 mile per hour winds in the forecast, but it's early.
It's 80 degrees there. What the hell's going on in South Florida? I guess that's common this time of year, but yeah, it's hot as shit there. But again, I just think they're going to continue to drop back, air it out. Although there's a chance Trey Benson does return this week, so maybe they can get a little more balanced.
Against the Bucks?
No,
What?
that's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Where do you have Jacoby ranked? Because you thought QB 10
I'm
was
a little lower,
high.
but I have him 15. But that's just more the weather, the road, the fact that he's in conditions for like the first time. I mean, it's not like major conditions, but
yeah,
I don't ever project anyone to run on Tampa. I had the Quorum under last week. Like, they left Kyron out there. They didn't trust it either.
There's also 32 teams playing this week, so no teams are on bye. So the past several weeks we've had 4, sometimes 6 teams on bye. So ranks, it's a little bit tougher to be in the top 12. But again, there's like 6 or 7 quarterbacks where we don't even know if they're going to play, right? Baker, Stroud, Rodgers, I guess JJ McCarthy, Dart, and Burrow's back. So yeah, there's a lot of like things happening at quarterback. So just through all the chaos, Brissett opens the week as a low end QB1 for me still.
I don't hate it. I mean, I've been on him these last few weeks, so I might end up there with you. But early in the week for me, is Marvin Harrison the Kyler Murray of wide receivers? Is the question. Because just like Brissett balling out makes Murray look worse. Michael Wilson balling out, and Dortch, to be quite honest.
Well, I feel like we've both considered Wilson and Dortch as like really good, like underrated receivers. So, I mean, we're probably not shocked that they're doing good. But, I mean, Michael Wilson, come on. Back-to-back 10-plus reception games, over 100 yards. He's really blown up. So, maybe it's just Brissett's the guy. And, McBride's finally scoring touchdowns and stuff. So, I think it's just all Brissett raising everybody. And I think, if Marv returns this week, I think that helps elevate the offense, but it's humming right now no matter what. So I think either way at this point, Brissett's, a QB1 for me going forward.
Yeah, and it sounds like Marvin actually might miss more time because I initially had him projected back, and then I saw some news that it kind of threw some cold water at that. So I mean, usually don't like to hear that kind of news early in the week. So I'm kind of leaning toward him on the wrong side of questionable now.
Yeah, he had major surgery. I mean,
and it's Thanksgiving. Like why?
Appendectomy. Oh yeah, that's
like why? You're not going anywhere fast. If you're Arizona, like you're good. Right. You can afford to take him, give him a break there.
Yeah.
I am high on Jordan Love this week. So always a kind of high variance guy, but going up against Detroit. Receivers are starting to get healthier. I mean, there's just so many of them that somebody's got to be healthy. They do weird things with the injury report every week, but it looks like Golden's back at practice. Reed, I think, has an outside shot to play maybe. But either way, Christian Watson coming on strong. Dobbs has probably been underperforming lately. He's been running a little bit fewer routes, but Dontavian Wicks is back as well. So I think they're going to be able to make up for Kraft. And this game against the Lions, Lions will play some man coverage. Love will have some opportunities to swing it. And we don't know how healthy Josh Jacobs is truly. Teams usually don't like to run against the Lions, so I don't know if we see quite as run-heavy of a script for the Packers, regardless if Jacobs is back. I mean, we saw Jameis Winston able to throw it all around on Detroit, so I think there's a good chance that the Packers finally, I'm kind of looking for it all year. They've been a little more pass-heavy, but I feel like they really haven't unleashed Love, who's like top 3 in all the all the advanced metrics like EPA, but the fantasy numbers haven't always been there with just 3 picks on the year, 15 touchdowns, 68% completion, so and a 7.7 YPA. So if his receiving core is getting healthier, I know Kraft is out, but I like his chances against the Lions for some big plays. So going with Jordan Love here as a guy I'm high on. I think he's a top 15 quarterback this week. Who are you low on, Koerner?
I'm low on Daniel Jones, who opens the week as my QB 18. He has a tough matchup this week against the Texans, and he kind of cooled off a bit lately. But the Texans have a lot of the fewest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. They rank first in DVOA against the pass. So just a tough matchup for him, especially since we really haven't seen him use his rushing upside as much this year. So that typically would kind of like help raise his floor in a tougher matchup like this. But since he isn't running as much, he's a little bit further down. I would consider him like a mid-range QB2 option. The Colts team total is usually one of the highest of the week. This week, it's more middle of the pack. They are at home, which helps. But again, 24.5 points would be a bit of a drop off from their season to date rank. So, and again, we have no teams on bye. Joe Burrow's back, so a lot of good options this week. So Daniel Jones is all the way down to QB 18 for me to open the week.
Yeah, he's QB 19 for me too. So I totally see it. It's not a terrible spot for the Colts. I mean, they've been in Kansas City. They've been overseas. So I mean, they could get back to it at home, but no one really does anything on the Texans defense. I mean, this defense is elite. Great defense. I don't think I want anything to do with any fantasy starters against the Texans for the rest of the year if I can help it. I'm low on Caleb Williams. He's our QB 13. I think that's high. It's Eagles defense, elite. Offense could have its kind of pains without Lane Johnson. We'll see. They could run the ball against the Bears, but I just don't see Caleb Williams putting up a big number against this Eagles defense. That I know they lost Makuba, but still, like this is. I mean, you got cornerbacks, you got that linebacker core is just next level, and I think they're going to be able to kind of sniff out some of the stuff that Ben Johnson wants to do, and he's not going to be overly aggressive here. I don't think with Caleb against like a Fangio defense. So I'm a little worried about Caleb cracking the top 15. I'd rather take my chances with a guy like Jordan Love, who can just kind of sling it against man coverage of the Lions, which is a little more suspect than the man coverage of the Eagles, which I think Caleb could get himself into trouble against, even though Luther Burden is trending up. Still don't love like DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and Burden in those matchups. So, low on Caleb, who is outside of my top 15 to start the week.
Where is he exactly? Is he inside your top 20?
I think he is.
Yeah, I have him QB 17.
Oh, 20. 20.
Oh, 20. Yeah. I'm outside the top 15 as well. And he has brutal schedule coming up, which I have him in quite a few leagues, and I was kind of worried about this stretch. But like you said, he has the Eagles this week. Then he's at Green Bay. Then he's playing the Browns and then the Packers again. So just a brutal stretch heading into the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. I would say he's kind of overperformed because the Bears are overperforming, but it hasn't looked great when you just watch him. I mean, he still looks a little sped up, but at the same time, it's like if we like Burden and Loveland to blow up, maybe we're underrating him. I don't know. He's a really tough guy to project week over week, but yeah, I'm gonna stick to the. I don't trust anyone against the Eagles defense, especially this time of year, except maybe Dak Prescott. All right, quarterback prop. Where are we going?
Yes, just considering there's so much uncertainty who's playing. There is a guy that we are certain is getting another start this week, Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to go with total passing and rushing yards. I hit on his under, 19.5 rushing yard prop. I thought that was way too high. So curious to hear like how you break up his passing and rushing yards here. But I'm going to go total yards over under 173.5 against the Niners this week.
Ooh, let's see. I'm going to go over. I've downgraded the 49er defense a lot. I know they played well against the Panthers, but I think Sanders is a type that he didn't even really show us the negative plays that we've been seeing in the past, but he's a guy that like the more you move backwards, the more you can move forwards too. So it's like he can lose 50 yards on sacks and then have to just sling it downfield. And what did he complete? A 50-yarder to Bond, I think it was. And yeah, I think he could be like a very kind of chaotic, almost like a Jameis type if he gets into the right groove. So yeah, I'm gonna go over that. I think it's a good line because he could also go way under. There's just a lot of variance, so he is a tough projection. But I think I'm gonna go over just because I still don't trust that Niners defense. Yeah.
And he had that nice play to Judy who tried to do that juke move and had it knocked out. How many rushing yards are you projecting for him? More importantly,
16. So it's wow. You have him lower?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have him 12. I'm still being kind of generous. I think his scramble rate's going to be in that 5 to 7% range. But it just didn't look like he was interested in using his legs at all. And I think people probably don't realize he's definitely like a pocket passer. even though he's the son of like one of the best athletes that ever played the game, he's definitely like a pocket passer type guy.
So I have a scramble rate at 6%, but I have the Raiders as like I upgrade the raw stats against the Raiders because they're the zone heaviest team, so there's no real scramble opportunities usually. So he could scramble more this week, I think, than he did last week. But I did notice that his like design market share was 0, right?
So they're not gonna. They were having Judkins line up in the Wildcat.
Yeah.
On so some of those touchdown, like they were just using him as design QB runs as opposed to Sanders. That's not really his game.
Yeah, so I only got him for a half of design carry. Oh, because I'm still using baking in like some of the Browns like pass rate for the season, not just like they were like 10% under expected pass rate last week with Shedeur. Yeah, so I usually do factor in some of the teams, not just the quarterback himself. So that's probably why I just have him for more dropbacks, which equals probably a half of scramble more than you or something like that. That's probably where I'm getting the extra 3-4 yards. But yeah, definitely a guy who I think he'll try to throw it downfield more. I think that's what he needs to give them, really.
Yep.
I mean, they haven't had any downfield passes this year.
He's more fun to watch than Dylan Gabriel. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe we speak too soon because we were all ready to fade him last week, and then he did okay. But the Raiders are just poverty, so maybe he just has his disaster against the Niners. But at the same time, could also just be underrated. Who knows? I mean, definitely the Browns wouldn't know what they're doing. So if he was the fourth the fourth quarterback they've started this year? Now, third.
Yeah.
The that would be typical Browns. Like go 40 some odd quarterbacks without a good one, and now you're still your third quarterback on the year is the guy that actually is the best one.
Yeah, could happen.
All right, running back top 5. What are we working with?
Oh my god, it's hard to make a top 5. There's 2 guys outside of it that I'm not happy about, but I have Devon Achane, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Saquon Barkley.
I got Achane, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Saquon Barkley is. I know they got him. They got the matchup, but I don't think I could put him in my top 5 for a while. Like he's been. It's just not been the same, and I don't. Yeah. With Lane Johnson out, I don't know exactly how much of that. If Lane is going to continue to miss, I don't know like how much of that to kind of attribute to Barkley because we don't have the same sample size. But I also don't want to overrate him. So yeah, I think he's my RB10, which I think is fair considering the lack of production lately. But
yeah, with him, they kind of figured out, if we dump him off the ball, that's even better. So he had 7 catches for 52 yards. So again, if he's going to be factored in a little bit more in the passing game, that's why I have him inside my top 5. But I was not happy just now to see that I have Bijan and Rico Dowdle outside of it. But, Dowdle's facing the Rams. We just saw him. What did he have? 5 carries last night against the Niners.
Yeah, so. No, we don't want to. Rico Dowdle's fine. We're fine fading him. I think it's.
I don't want to fade him, but yeah, I don't think he should be in our top 5 on the no teams on bye. Everyone's healthy. I'm cool with him being RB7 now. Now that I kind of processed it.
Saquon Barkley. Remember last year he had 500 touches between the regular and playoffs or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, this year he's turning into the Javonte with the Mendoza line here, 10 for 22, 2.2. Game before that, 26 for 83, 3.2. Game before that, 22 for 60, 2.7. Then he had a blow-up game against the Giants, and then the game before that, 2.4. So 4 of his last 5 games, he's 3.2 or below, and 3 of the last 5, he's below 3.
Is it the what's the magic number, 350 plus touches? Or is it the Madden curse? Or is it both combined?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything magic. It's just this dude has touched the ball 800 times
Madden.
in a calendar year or something like that. And he's not even the healthiest guy to begin with.
Right.
Oh, man.
Well, he's playing. It's not like he's missing time. That's the craziest part about this. He's just not efficient. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel if you drafted him? Where did he go this year? He was
number 1.
Number 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's up there?
Yeah, Bijan and Saquon were kind of like a toss-up at number 1 overall.
Yeah, and then Chase was in the mix, but I mean, you probably of those 3, you're least satisfied with Barkley,
Yeah.
even with that chase stretch. I think where he had a couple of down games. Yeah, definitely. Okay, who are you high on for Week 13?
Yeah, I'm high on RJ Harvey, who opens up as my RB13. And we, as soon as J.K. Dobbins went down, we didn't really know how, Sean Payton was going to handle it. But I was pleasantly surprised with Harvey's usage in Week 11. I mean, Payton was not fucking around. He was the clear workhorse back. I know I floated, Jaleel McLaughlin might be a sneaky bench stash, and he scored that touchdown, but he barely saw playing time, right? He just happened to be the right place at the right time. I think he was spelling Harvey, who just had like a few touches to get them down near the goal line. But it seemed like Sean Payton's kind of treating him as Vrabel did with Travion Henderson. So I'm more confident in him heading into this week now. They're facing the Commanders, who've allowed the 6th most points to running backs. Not like an imposing matchup at all. So yeah, he opens the week as my RB13. I'm much more confident in he is a must start at this point until Dobbins gets back.
Yeah, and he has more room to grow too because he had a season high 58% of the pass snaps played, but Adam Prentice was on the field a lot as like that. What was like pass protector, kind of third down Drew Sample kind of thing, where it's just they just like a Lipke type role. So Prentice ended up playing 25% of the snaps in the backfield. That's up from his season average of 5%. So if they just give those snaps to the halfbacks, which maybe Harvey will pick up some more. I mean, we don't want him protecting when he's in there, so it could be moot. But I mean, 25% is a lot to give your fullback, so there could be some more room to grow for Harvey. In terms of the receiving game too, even compared to last week. And this Washington defense, I mean, not great. I know they're coming off the bye, but not great. I'm high on Devin Neal going up against Miami. I just think that the Saints. I know Kamara is questionable, but I think the Saints have been kind of showing they want to get this guy more involved, and now they have the perfect opportunity. Miami's defense is not good. Miami's just a not good team. I guess it's because they're at home for like 4 times in the past 5 weeks, and the Saints are going on the road. But 6 points is a lot for Miami as a favorite. So I think New Orleans could be a little undervalued here. They got super unlucky last week. The 2 easy chip shot misses. I think they got stopped at the goal line a couple of times. So maybe they actually give Neal more work because it was just like Taysom Hill and Tyler Shutt getting stuffed at the goal line over and over again last week. It was like that time the Texans were just using British Brooks for some odd reason that 1 week in short yardage. So Neal could see some traditional goal line snaps here. He's already been kind of cutting into Kamara's work a little bit aside from that 1 week, I think, heading into the bye. So I'm high on him against Miami, who I just don't see as having any semblance of a good defense. I mean, this is a team that's they've just gotten. I mean, they're playing the Saints. They beat the Commanders by 3 in a game they should have lost. They had that one good win against Buffalo, and then they beat the Falcons when they ruled out Drake London last minute. But this is still a defense that I think can get shredded, even though they've given up below 20 in 3 of their last 4. I think Devin Neal and the Saints can still get something going here. So give me Neal for the guy I'm high on. Who are we low on at running back?
Yeah, I like the Neal call, and my comp for him has been dollar store DeAndre Swift, and that's who I'm low on this week is DeAndre Swift against his former team, the Eagles here. He's played really well this year, and at times he's been like a high-end RB2 in my ranks, but with Kyle Monangai also playing well, it's turning into more of a, an even committee. And last week, Monangai had the hot hand, so he actually led the backfield in terms of usage. That could flip towards Swift this week, but I think it's safe to say this is just a volatile situation. And, normally I would say, this is probably going to be a trailing game script for the Bears, so that probably helps Swift. But Monangai actually outpaced him in terms of routes run rate last week. So this is kind of a full-blown committee where nobody has like a defined role right now. Ben Johnson's probably just going with the hot hand. So it's a little bit tougher to trust Swift because of that. But still, he's a high-end RB3 flex for me. But certainly a downgrade from where he was, several weeks ago where he was looking like a really good sleeper pick, like a high-end RB2. But just with Monangai playing well, I love him as a talent. It's a little bit tougher to trust either one outside of, RB3 flex territory right now.
Yeah, especially with all the teams like no one on bye. I think there's certain weeks where maybe the Bears they're going to try to get that run game going, but this one is the Eagles defense is not to be messed with. I am low on Ashton Genty, who is the ECR RB12 for some reason. And listen, I was high on Genty coming into the year, but now, I mean, first of all, this coaching staff just been ridiculous. I'm glad they finally just old Yeller, old Chip over there, but still, we're looking at a guy who has just gotten nothing going on the ground pretty much all year, and this offensive line is in shambles. Like, I mean, can you name any one of their starters anymore? Like, who are the Raiders starting on the offensive line? Like,
Colton Miller's on IR. They got DJ Glaze.
Yep.
Love DJ Glaze. He's side DJ at Club Booty on the weekends.
Oh my God. It's bad.
Dylan Parham. That's all I can name.
Is Parham even still? Let's see.
Oh, Stone Forsythe. Obviously.
Oh. Yeah, Cap is there. Meredith, and who else is there? Yeah, Parham is starting, and he's been like what, their best lineman? It's just a bad group. I mean, maybe they did change coordinates, maybe they figured, but it's Greg Olsen. Like, it's still Pete Carroll, and he's obviously behind the offense. He was saying how like he was the one that was responsible for them, like their game plan against the the Cowboys when they just didn't run the ball at all with Genty. But now, and Genty's also been on an injury report, so who knows how healthy he is. But they're just getting nothing before contact these days. And let's talk about Javonte Williams, 2.9.
Yeah,
1.2. These are his last 6 yards per carries. 2.9, 1.2, 3.2, 3.2, 3.5, 3.3. So he has nothing over 3.5 since October 5th at Indianapolis. Like, wow. Only 2 times all year he's been over 4 yards a carry. Indianapolis and Chicago, who terrible run D. So yeah, I'm out on Genty here, even if it's a new coordinator. Maybe they get him going in the passing game, but I think RB12 is rich at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, running back prop. Let's go with your guy Harvey, actually.
Nice.
Rushing plus receiving yards. I'll set the line 82.5.
Oh my God. Right in line. Damn it. I'll go over. I just think he's one of those guys where just the more touches he gets, the more likely he is to just break a long one. So yeah, I'm fine taking, like, again, since we're combining both rushing and receiving, we're capturing an explosive play in there. So it's a little bit less of a medium projection, more overall. So yeah, give me over.
Yeah, I don't know, which I think I want you to take the over just because it's Sean Payton still. You know what I mean? So
I know.
always got to kind of be weary with Sean Payton.
Had the bye week
I have
to
him at 84.
He's had the bye week to figure out how to fuck with us, right?
I mean, or he could just come with Adam Prentice getting 40% of the pass snaps. Who knows? I mean, got to factor all these things in, and a Jaleel McLaughlin vulture score, all that. But yeah, I mean, I hope I have Harvey for 84, so that's right in line with my actual prediction. I didn't really shade it or anything. All right, wide receiver, top 5. Week 13.
Jackson Smith-Njigba, number 1, obviously. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, and Puka Nacua.
I got. Wait, why is JSN not number 1? JSN is number 4 for some reason.
Fix that.
And I'm the one that's always saying he's got to be number 1. So I'm trying to see what's going on. What's going on? Oh. See, I have Amon-Ra number 1 because he's back. They're back at home, and I like matchup against the zone coverage of Green Bay. And I have Chase number 2 because Burrow is back and no Higgins. So that's how they got above him. But I mean, I guess that's fair. But I'll probably end up. Though I do worry a little bit about Darnold in this matchup just because of the the familiarity there. But Darnold's passing yardage is a little lower for me than most weeks.
All he has to do is just chuck it up to JSN and he'll figure out the rest.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so Chase, Amon-Ra, JSN, Nico Collins, and Rashee Rice. Yeah,
Nico.
I don't know. Yeah, where did that come from? Let's see. Yeah, I guess Stroud is yeah, I have Stroud projected in, which is bumping up Nico, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that too. Well, because Puka's been running less route, so I bumped him down. He's been running like a 70% route rate, so he's down to like 6. And then who else? CD Lamb. Oh no, CD Lamb is 5. Nico's 6. Okay, that's a little better. Although maybe it should be Pickens at this point.
So
where do you have Pickens
options? Ranked? Number 8. Yeah. I have Waddle 7. I don't know where the hell you have Jalen Waddle, but he's 7 for me.
Waddle 7. No, I have him 15.
Yeah,
7.
Again, wild.
7.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Again, it's early. These will change. These will change a lot, probably.
I mean, I could see it actually. He did run a 93% route rate last game, so that's a season high. Yeah, season high. But yeah, Saints. I mean, yeah, it's got to be it's got to be Waddle and Achane. Really, it's going to be Achane no matter what. But I can't hate on the Waddle. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what Nico's doing in here either. So I'm not going to bump him down.
Nico being in the top 10, I can get behind that. I mean, he's not.
It's because I gotta make the full sauce adjustment manually because like they just got Ward back. So now he'll go down. He'll
he's wide receiver 18 for me.
Yeah. I think I could flip flop him and like Waddle or somebody. But I digress. Who are you high on at wide receiver?
John Mechie III. I figured this is my first and last chance I get to talk about this guy. He's, my wide receiver 55. So probably not playing him in season-long leagues, but, certainly DFS player prop markets. I think he's in play. And I actually cashed on his over 2.5 receptions last week very easily. But he's basically filling in, sort of the Garrett Wilson role right now. He's out there a ton. They just made the move to get A.D. Mitchell. They brought in Mechie, 2 very raw, talented, kind of younger guys that haven't hit their stride yet, but they're going to work these guys a lot down the stretch to just kind of evaluate for next year and beyond. But Mechie was, a second-round pick just a few years ago at the Texans. He battled leukemia his rookie season, overcame that. Still just 25 years old, so he's a guy I've had my eyes on for a while. Now, certainly going to the Jets isn't the best landing spot, but I think as long as Tyrod's under center, he could surprise and have multi-catch games, and he's now on 2 straight games with a touchdown. So he's looked really good, a guy that should be on your radar, again, in deeper leagues. But yeah, he's opening up, right around wide receiver 55 for me. But again, a guy that I'm pretty high on. And worth, at least monitoring the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's always had a good target rate per route run, which is, good underlying metrics for him. Just really couldn't get on the field. He was always behind like a bunch of guys. Like in Philly, they were like 8 kick returners ahead of him. And then now he comes to the Jets and there's like nobody behind him. And he's like everything they wanted A.D. Mitchell to be. So he led him with a 90% route rate last week. Mitchell 85, Taylor 80. So he's essentially their new Garrett Wilson.
Well, he really is playing that role. And yeah, that's a good point. With the Eagles, he commanded like a 30% target rate. And Jahan Dotson was the cardio king this week. So for anybody to command targets outside of the big 3 there is really impressive. And yeah, he's a good separator, good underneath guy. So not surprised, he's finally thriving when he does have like a full-time role.
I am high on Andre Yosevich going up against Baltimore. Again, just like the waivers pod, I'll mention Mitchell Tinsley as well. But I just think these guys are kind of like little dart throws that you could use. They're kind of like borderline, they're wide receiver 4 types, but I do think there's some upside here. Bengals, these AFC North games when the quarterbacks are healthy have tended to be shootouts more than you would think. And Jamar Chase obviously coming back here, but you still have a Baltimore with a healthy Lamar. Well, we think he's healthy. He might not be 100% healthy, but Baltimore with Lamar Jackson and not Cooper Rush. So they could put pressure on Cincinnati's terrible defense. I mean, Rush probably could as well. So with Higgins out, there's a chance Josevich is like 100% routes run. He was 90% last week. He's been in the 90s even with Higgins healthy 4-5 times this year already. So I think Josevich is in a good spot here where he could put up a big game. And then if not him, I have Tinsley ranked one spot behind him. Tinsley ended up running 78% of the routes to Charlie Jones's 18, and Burton was a healthy scratch even with only 4 receivers up outside of him. So I don't know when he's getting on the field at this point. But even if he does, I mean, probably can't expect him to do anything more than 10% routes at this point. He's got to just be the number 5 guy. They just seem like they have no rush to get him on the field. So that just kind of solidifies it for Josevich and Tinsley for me. So those guys, if you're like an underdog or something and you need a dart throw, definitely would look at those guys. Probably just 1 week thing because Higgins will have the what is it? 10 days? Yeah, he'll have the 10 days to get healthy going forward. But there's always a chance. I mean, you never know with these concussions and whatnot. So could be a guy to hold on to, especially if Burrow is back. Want to see how that kind of plays out. But love Yoshi and Tinsley as dart throws.
Yeah, thank God we don't have that. What was his name? Trenton Irwin clogging it up.
Yep.
We have talented pass catchers that can step up if Higgins or Chase are out, but not Trenton Irwin.
Who's the other one? Stanley Morgan and Michael Thomas, but the bogus Michael Thomas, the bizarro Michael Thomas.
Mike Thomas.
Yep. Who are you low on this week at wide receiver?
I'm low on Stephon Diggs, who is coming off a 2-catch, 20-yard dud. And those are going to happen, but I think with him, the main concern for me was his playing time. He saw a season low 54% routes run rate. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe, this wide receiver room is fully healthy. They have a ton of guys too. So maybe they're just trying to preserve Diggs a bit, for the playoff run. He is coming off, the ACL tear from last season. That's my guess. But either way, I think he bounces back this week with, maybe a 70-80% routes run rate, but he's never been a full-time guy this year. So any drop in routes run rate is going to be a concern for me. He could still post solid numbers in this, limited role, but he is down to wide receiver 26 for me, which is a shame because, he was pushing wide receiver 1 value there for a while, especially with Drake May just playing out of his mind this year. But this is a week, they're facing the Giants. They should be able to run a lot more on them, so might not need to pass as much. Diggs is all the way down to wide receiver 26 for me to open the week.
Yeah, and you have Mac Hollins staying around 80%. He stayed there.
Yeah, I think I bumped it. Yeah, I was high on him to open the week. I think he was my wide receiver 29, and by the end of the week, he was wide receiver 43. I think what did he have last week? 70%? I think he did see it. Oh, he had 80 again? Yeah. I figured Booty... Kyle Williams was basically the Booty replacement. Mac Hollins has carved out his own unique role in this offense. So I still have him right around there in that 75% range.
I think him. It's him. How Diggs, Hollins, Booty are the top 3, but in any given week, it seems like Diggs could drop to the 3, which it's a tough projection.
And for whatever reason, Pop Douglas he's tapped out at 30% or at 35% routes run rate. They're not going to let him do much more than that. He's playing well, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's just been pretty volatile to say the least over these past few weeks.
Yeah, Pop is just kind of it's like they use him as a situational deep threat now. It's the exact opposite of what he was.
And Matt Collins is getting peppered underneath with targets. Who would have known?
Yeah, hey, Drake May, man, makes it all work somehow.
Yep, true.
I'm low on Khalil Shakir, and this is kind of just more of a sell high. I was high on him last week. Great matchup for him going up against that Houston defense, which, it's a tough defense, but, the weakness is in the middle, and, they play a lot of zone. So Shakir, I think he just had a kid, ended up putting up a 100-yard game. I know I think he had a fumble loss, but he ended up with 110 yards, 8 catches. This Bills offense is still a mess, but you could see they're still searching for answers at receiver, and I just don't think that Shakir is the guy who's going to be able to do it back to back this week. I think Buffalo is still on their everybody eats type of thing. Now see if Kincaid is back, but that could also cut into Shakir because, Kincaid and Shakir both occupy the middle of the field. So Pittsburgh is going to play more man coverage usually than Houston. They've been switching up a little more lately, but just seems like a situation where, last week people were a bit lower on him. Then he had a big game, and now, people probably a bit higher. But I think Shakir is still kind of outside that top 24-ish at wide receiver. He's more of a wide receiver 3, so a little bit lower on him this week. I just don't think he does it 2 weeks in a row. Is Coleman going to be active this week? What's going on with Coleman?
I was going to say I'm projecting all 9 wide receivers for something, and then we're going to have like 3 or 4 of them scratched or whatever. Yeah, I have Coleman in, but I don't know. Signing Brandon Cooks might mean that they just intend to just keep Coleman benched. I'm not really sure what's going on there. And then, Shavers had that good game, and he was, the team captain, and then the next week, last week, he didn't see a single target. It's just pure chaos. And then if Kincaid returns, that's just going to make everybody even less relevant. So, yeah, I've kind of given up projecting Bills earlier in the week. I guess we'll find out later, who might be suiting up. But are you projecting Coleman to play at all?
I'm about to just, after you just said you're projecting all 9, I guess I'm thinking about it now, but I'm looking at, I think Samuel's probably more doubtful. So maybe he's out of the picture, and then Davis is still technically on the practice squad, right? So
yeah.
And then is Cooks on the practice squad?
Yeah, I think he would go there first. And I think if Gabe gets elevated one more time, they got to sign him, right? So they might try to really wait to see if they need to elevate him. So yeah, it's a mess. Basically outside of Shakir, it's impossible. And Palmer, I guess, has a stable role outside of those 2
for now.
Yeah, for now, exactly. It's just a mess.
Yeah, like everyone, Shavers had a big game, and then it's like people are high on him, and I just don't think this Bills offense can sustain it. You put that on tape, and then we'll take away Shakir and make you beat us with these other bums again. And so that's what that's what I think is going to happen for Buffalo. And you're without your tackle, so we'll see how that affects everything. Your right tackle Spencer Brown, but wide receiver prop. Where are we going?
All right, so as promised, we have sort of a Max Brosmer prop here. We all need him to save Justin Jefferson. So let's set Justin Jefferson's prop. And then I guess you can kind of say how many passing yards you're projecting for Brosmer if he starts. But I'm going to set Jefferson's prop at 67.5 receiving yards.
That sounds like incredibly high, just given the past production. Not Justin Jefferson.
Pretty low for him, but based on the context of this season, high.
Oof, I gotta go. I have his average at 67, so it's a good line, but that means his median is gonna be a little below. And only because if it was a Brosmer prop, I would probably go over just on principle. But since you're giving me Jetta here, he could go like 5 for 50 and a touchdown or something like that. So yeah, I have him for 67 yards. I have Brosmer throwing for just a little over 200. So
yeah,
like a big step up from 50. What was it? 87 last week or something like that. What about you? What do you have for Brosmer's passing?
Yeah, I have him right around 200. It's they might try to lean on the run, use heavy personnel to start, but I think he's going to surprise some people. Again, he looked great in preseason. I saw some conspiracy theories. They didn't want to play him to crush JJ McCarthy's confidence. That's why they had Carson Wentz play through his injury that one game. Like Brosmer could have come in, I felt like that night, but I don't know if I believe that theory that he's so good they don't want to use him yet. But we'll find out this week potentially. So can't wait to see. But this is a tough spot at Seattle, for a first start. But I think he's going to surprise, and we kind of need him to help elevate this offense because you can't really trust Addison or Hawkinson right now. But it's been tough for Justin Jefferson owners. So hopefully he can bring some life back to JJ.
Yeah, if there's a quarterback we should be able to trust, at least Addison. Hawkinson's just, I don't know what's going on with him. He was losing snaps to Oliver, so something might be because wasn't he? He came off an injury. That was last year. He came off the injury, right?
Yeah, he's totally healthy. I think he is maybe missing. He's been healthy. It's just bad quarterback play, and they paid Oliver in the offseason. He's eaten into enough snaps, but I think it's just poor quarterback plays kind of really hurt Hawkinson the most.
Yeah, the decrease in snaps definitely worried me. I know it's probably just to do run blocking and whatnot, but yeah. He's been so unproductive that there could be something going on beyond just the run blocking issues. All right, tight end, we got in the top 5 for week 13.
Trey McBride, George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Aronde Gadsden, and Travis Kelce.
Got McBride, Bowers, Warren, Kittle, and Gadsden. Well, I kind of want Gadsden even higher. This is the Raiders zone defense. I might have to move him up to 3 or something like that.
Over Kittle, yeah, that can make sense. And I have Michael Mayer playing, but if Mayer's out, Bowers will be. He wouldn't pass up McBride. I think he'd be my tight end too easily.
Yeah, McBride. Still got Jacoby, and still might not have Marvin Harrison. So I think McBride just kind of earned it because the Raiders, they're still like he had that big 3 touchdown game against the Jags. But, you don't know what this Raiders offense is going to do from week to week. It's
with a new coordinator too,
Right. Who are you high on?
I'm high on Mark Andrews. He opens up as my tight end 8. He's coming off that 1 catch, 9-yard dud. But this is the ultimate get right spot for a tight end. The Bengals defense has just been getting torched by tight ends. I think clearly they've allowed the most fantasy points per game, but I think it's by like a full 6 or 7 points or something ridiculous like that. It's just been insane. So plus, Lamar just doesn't look quite right. Doesn't look as explosive running. So I think he'll continue to just throw a bit more as opposed to scramble. So I think that's going to help the overall passing attack. And I think you alluded to it, but if Burrow's back, it could, make this more of a neutral game script where the Ravens have to pass, the entire game. So, and then Andrews, he gets those tush push carries like AJ Barner. So he could get a goal line score. Who knows? But I think this is a week where I want to be high on Andrews. So he opens up as my tight end 8.
Yeah, the Bengals have given up 5 more points per game in half PPR than any other team. They've given up 13 touchdowns to tight ends. 7 is the next highest for any defense. It's just, just since week 7, right? Just since week Kohler, since week 7, they've given up
your tight end touchdown parlay, all 3 of them, baby.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they've given up. Yeah, Freiermuth, Jonnu, and Darnell Washington in week 7. That's 4. Mason Taylor in week 8, 5. Loveland 2 in week 9, 7. And then Henry 1 last week. So that's 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games. That's absurd.
Yeah, that Steelers game.
Almost had the quadruple.
Yeah, because Connor Hayward was open in the corner of the end zone, and Rodgers threw it 15 feet over his head, but we almost had all 4 score, which even 3 might be a record, but 4 tight ends to score a touchdown the same game would have to be a record, I would imagine.
The Patriots never did that with Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, and some random third guy. Well, I'm guessing they had 3.
3, maybe but not 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because trying to think, I can't think of anyone off the top because teams didn't really use multi tight ends like that either back, at least that I remember.
There's no way.
Yeah. I'm high on Brenton Strange. Talked about him on the waivers pod, but like that he came back and went right back into his old role. Ended up getting a 70% route rate. Ended up getting 5 targets, 5 catches, and over 90 yards. And he's had, in 4 of his 5 healthy games, he's had at least 4 catches. So that's, for a tight end, you got to kind of pay attention when you're starting to get to 4 catches on a consistent basis. And the only games he didn't were the game he went down against the Chiefs Or I don't know, did he go down in that game, or did he just emerge from an injury? Let me see. Make sure I'm not speaking here. Yeah, he played 38% of snaps. So yeah, I think he did get injured. So yeah, he got injured in that Chiefs game and only had one catch, and then he had he had 3 catches against the Bengals of all teams in in week 2. He had only 3 catches for 17, but every other game, 4 for 59, 6 for 61, 6 for 45, and 5 for 93. So I'm gonna keep riding Brenton Strange until the wheels fall off here. I think the receivers being back only help because that just takes coverage away from him. You can't really prioritize him, and they haven't used him in the red zone much yet, so that could end up trending up as well. Although I don't know if Trevor Lawrence can actually complete touchdown passes, but nevertheless, like Brenton Strange is a borderline tight end 1 this week. Who are you low on?
Well, I hate to do this, but I'm low on Colston Loveland. He's my tight end 20 to open the week. Coming off, another solid game, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. I'm still very high on Loveland as a talent. But this is still just a really crowded wide receiver room with Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, just when I was going to write him off, had his best game of the season. Luther Burden III, playing more snaps, I think is going to eat into everybody's target share, including Loveland. And Cole Kmet, returns, so he's eating into Loveland's playing time, which we always knew was going to be an annoying factor in Loveland's rookie season. So this is also a tough matchup, as you've been alluding to. The Eagles have been really good against tight ends. They've allowed the second fewest points per game to tight ends. And if there's anybody that can overcome a situation like this, it would be someone like Colston Loveland. But again, just based on my opening, projections, he's my tight end 20.
Yeah, he finally started to see a little bit of an uptick, over Kmet. Like they were splitting snaps, I think, the last 2, but the Eagles defense, it's going to be tough to really trust anyone, especially with that. Their second level defenders are just so good that, I think it's a week to kind of lay off. I'm actually low on the tight end on the other side of that game. And I know people, the Bears, they don't have many linebackers, but Dallas Goedert's still kind of floating right around that fringe tight end 1 territory for me because, AJ Brown starting to see an uptick, and, Devontae Smith and Hurts is just targeting his wide receivers more. And when he's doing that, there's still a low volume pass team more often than not. So Goddard is essentially probably going to be surviving on touchdowns. Now he has 6 touchdowns against man coverage, which is good in a way because the Bears do play a lot of man coverage, but you're also kind of like that's bound to regress. Like I don't know how he keeps that up for the rest of the season. And when he's not doing that, he's not necessarily getting the volume in this offense the way he was, when one of those 2 guys is out, which has been the case a lot over the past year and a half. So lower on Goddard this week. Could come back to bite me, but it's just I don't really see the volume there for him in the same way that we did when, like a Devontae was out or a AJ Brown was out. Now it's like both of those guys are in the lineup, and Goddard is back to kind of being that number 3.
Yeah, and Barkley's getting a lot of targets now too.
That too.
So he might be being a 4th target now.
Tight end prop. Yeah, let's go Kyle Pitts because he's just never know what to do with him. So we're just gonna go receiving yardage, and we'll set the line at 40.5.
Ooh, Drake London. Is he questionable this week?
Sounds like he's on the wrong side. At least early, things could change.
Over. Because I have Kyle Pitts right around there, and I'm projecting London to return. But again, I'm just doing that just to open the week. I like to be optimistic for studs to return. But yeah, if he's out, Pitts is going to see quite a big boost. But he's been having some drop issues. So still might end up having his prop there. But yeah, I'll take over, just factoring, London's not a lock to return this week.
Yeah, I mean, he's been having more drop issues. He's just been having issues. He's 25, 14, 38, 38 last 4 games. So yeah, he's been over, he's been over this prop 4 times this year. 59, two 59er games of 62 to 70, and he's had 7 games under 40. So not great. 9.4 yards per reception, a career low. Not great. not great.
Still only 25 years old, entering his prime. Still my top.
We should have known though when he had that one touchdown on like 100. He had like 1,000-yard season with one touchdown. That maybe something was up. Like he's like, he's not who it could either be. He's Julio Jones or he's Kyle Pitts, and I guess he's Kyle Pitts. All right, that is going to do it for the Week 13 player projections episode here on the Fantasy Flex. Don't forget to check out the Fantasy Labs app for all our projections and more. You can use code FLEX20. All right, we already have our waivers episode out. No DFS this week. We'll be back next week with that, but we do have our touchdown show with Joe Gallant out already as well. You can find Sean on X at @_oddsmaker. I'm at Chris Raybon. We're at those same handles on the free award-winning Action app. Don't forget to check out Playbook on X as well. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, you and yours. We appreciate you listening. Be sure to try to give some money in addition to getting that money this week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.